to my channel. So today I have a long anticipated video, I guess only on my part because you guys haven't really known that I've been like wanting to film this video, but it is how to quickly clean your brushes. So a long while back I filmed a video on how I deep clean my brushes, and I'll link that in the comment section down below, or the description box down below if you're curious to check it out. But that process is super lengthy, it takes a very long time, and it's just not practical for every day, sometimes even every week work. So I did discover a much quicker way to clean my brushes, and I wanted to share that with you guys today. So that is what this video is going to be all about. So the star of the show, the main product that I use in this video, is the MAC brush cleaner. So I don't know if they have multiple brush cleaners, but this is the pink one. And this stuff is awesome. This is what they use in the store. And I don't know if it's antibacterial or not, but it has alcohol in it, so it kind of sanitizes your brushes, it cleans your brushes, it gets all the shadows and product out of your brushes, and it dries really quickly. The best part about this is you don't have to rinse it off. It's not soap, so you don't have to rinse it off. It doesn't require like a cleanse afterwards. This is all it takes. You don't need to run it underwater or anything. So I wanted to show you guys how I use this product. I recommend spot cleaning your brushes like this really only on your eye brushes, just because your larger brushes, your face brushes, they're really big, and once you see the clip of me cleaning, you'll kind of see why it's just kind of not really practical to clean your bigger brushes that way. So today I'm going to show you how to do your eye brushes. So I will be cleaning these 6 eye brushes for you up close so you can see them all. I also show you how to clean a blush brush, which is kind of like a bigger brush, so you can see how that works. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, let me know in the comment section down below. If you have any other suggestions or better ways to quickly clean your brushes, I would also love to hear that. And yeah, I guess that's all. So I'll go ahead and enter the clip for you right now. So I could have titled this, "What to Do While You're Waiting for Your Face Mask to Dry While in Your PJs." Good thing you can't see my face for the majority of this video. Anyways, I just thought that was kind of funny. Okay, so I'm going to wash the top 6 brushes that I use pretty much every day while I am doing my eye makeup. So you guys have seen me use these in tutorials before. These are probably my top favorite 6 eye brushes. This one is actually newer, but so I'm going to show you how to wash these today. So you'll want to start out with some type of white cloth that you don't mind if it gets dirty. Today I'm using paper towels. Paper towels work very well. You can also use tissues or like a washcloth, but I do definitely recommend that it is completely white, no design, no ink, no color on it, just because that could possibly stain your white brushes. I've never tried, but I don't really want to try. I don't want to risk it, so I always use a plain white cloth. So here's the brush cleaner that I will be using today. This is the MAC brush cleaner. This I talked about in one of my favorites videos, but this is actually what they use in the store. This stuff does not need to be washed off, so that makes it really nice and handy. So I just pop open the container and I squirt it right on my paper towel, a very generous amount. Then I will take the brush, so you can see this brush is supposed to be white, but it's kind of like a beigey color because of my eye makeup, and I just swirl it around. And that's all that I do, and it cleans it so fast. You can see the paper towel kind of gets a little bit sudsy, but it's not soapy, so you don't have to wash this cleaner off, which is really nice. You don't need any water to do this. It's very portable. So after I've swirled it around quite a bit, I will then just kind of wipe off the excess product that might possibly be in the brush. And voila, look how clean it is now. Now this doesn't get my brushes as clean as it would if I was running it under the water with like a, you know, an actual brush cleaner. I like to use the Beauty Blender Solid or the Beauty Blender Liquid. That gets these brushes perfectly clean. So you'll see that these brushes don't get quite as clean as they would if I was using something like that, but it definitely gets the job done until you can take the time to deep clean your brushes like you normally would. Now it gets a little tricky when you use these darker brushes just because you can't really see when they're clean. You really have to judge the cloth itself and see when it starts to kind of brush clean instead of, what am I trying to say here? You can't tell when these brushes are clean because they're not white. They're dark bristles, so you can't really tell. So you really have to pay attention to the cloth and just kind of see when it starts to wipe clean instead of dirty. One downside that I have noticed is cleaning my brushes this way does cause them to shed way more than they do, or actually, I don't know, but way more than I notice they do when I wash them under the sink. So these are Sigma brushes. They don't typically shed, but I mean, look, that I don't know if it has to do with my technique or not, but I do notice that, I mean, look at all the like little hairs on there. I do notice that it does kind of make my brushes shed a little bit more, or at least I notice it a little bit more. So that's kind of a downside. For this brush, since it's a flat brush, instead of like a round or dome shaped brush like the others, I'm actually going to do a different technique. I just like swipe it back and forth like this until the paper towel is clean instead of circular motions. It just makes it a little bit easier. And there we go. So that took me just about, let's see, the timer on my camera says 7 minutes and I was talking for about 2 minutes. So that really only took me about 5 minutes to clean 5 brushes, which is a lot quicker than it does when you wash them in the sink. Now again, they're not quite as clean as they would be had I done the full on deep cleanse, but it gets the job done. These are now ready to go for anything I want to do, and this dries so much quicker than when I use soap and water. These brushes are almost dry already. The first one I cleaned was the Sigma E35, and it's pretty much almost dry. This is my blush brush that I use pretty much every day. You can see it is very, very dirty. It is supposed to be white, not pink. So I end up having to use a lot more of that MAC brush cleaner, and then I end up using a lot more of the paper towel as well. So you can still do it with these types of products. I just don't really recommend it for anything other than your eye brushes, just because, I mean, look at how dirty that is. It just, I don't know, it's not as practical as it is with something like your eye brush. Alright guys, well, that is all that I have for you today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!